Hey guys, what's going on? So in this video today, we're going to go over the best everything in Marvel Strike Force. So that includes Arena, U7, and other endgame type things in teams and stuff. So basically, we're going to go over the best teams for certain aspects of this game. And I feel like this is a better way than doing a top 10, so you can see the usefulness of each character in these certain teams and aspects. And I know a lot of people also do top 10, so I want to, do something different. So let's start off. We have our best team in the game, and when I say best team, they're the best faction team. Just like how you have X-Men, how you have Asgardians, how you have Inhumans. This is your best one of those types of teams, and that's Black Order. There's a lot to say about Black Order, but basically they are the new, I guess, hot shit in this game. So yeah, there's not really too much to say. All their kits work together. They're all blended together. Thanos comes in and he takes away armor from the other team. And when they make an empowered Thanos, he's really hard to stop. There's not really too much to say. Most people know the power of Black Order. So I'm just going to move on. So I'm including Black Order counter on this team. This is if you see them in Arena, because there is kind of different Arena ways to approach Arena when it depends on who you're facing. But this is your basic Black Order counter team. There's no one on Black Order that can really counter Ultron the way that Black Bolt counters Ultron. So you want to use Ultron, especially with his aimbots. You want to get Ultron ramped up and stuff. Phoenix is still useful despite the fact that Ebony Maw was made to kind of counter Phoenix, but she still is vital for taking them on. Colossus is just there to be a tank. Black Bolt is there for pure damage, and Invisible Woman is there too for barrier and for shielding the team as well. So that's your Black Order counter. I know there's been videos put up about them. I know, for example, OMG did a video of this same team facing Black Order. What I like to do is, in that video, he used Invisible Woman's ultimate first. I like to use her special first, and it sticks Black Bolt out, which is perfectly fine, and hides Phoenix, which allows her to have another team as Phoenix before she allows her to have another turn as Phoenix before she turns into Dark Phoenix. That's just what I would do different than what his video is, if you've seen it. But that works for me most of the time. I will say that I have a caveat. The highest I've gotten to in Arena is 13, and that's just because I didn't have the ability to fight some more in that. But again, 13 is the highest I've been. I normally finish top 50, sometimes top 20. It's not really hard. It's just about whether or not I have the energy to go and fight in Arena. So yeah, this is your best Black Order counter team. I think it'll work against most of the levels unless you have a high red star, high gold star Black Order team. So this is your best Arena team, your best Arena offense, and your best Arena defense team. They just come in and they know how to counter teams well. Again, Empowered Thanos is super overpowered. It'll be fun to see what FoxNext puts out to counter this team in general, but I think this team is just, most people know its power. But if you're not using Black Order on offense or defense, here is your best Arena offense team number 2. So what each character is going to do for you: Mr. Sinister, you want to bring him in and he's going to clone Phoenix. Black Bolt is there for pure damage and for removing buffs. Ebony Maw is there to control the other team's Phoenix. Yo-Yo is there to provide ability energy to Black Bolt and apply offense down to the opposing team. And Phoenix is there because she turns into Dark Phoenix, and everyone knows how good Dark Phoenix is. So yeah, this is basically who you're going to go against if you see a non-Black Order team. This will do pretty much well against them, and you should win. I actually don't use this team in Arena offense. I sub out Invisible Woman, or I sub in Invisible Woman for Yo-Yo. The reason why I do this is because my Yo-Yo is only 3 gold stars, so she kind of is too squishy to be using in Arena right now, and Invisible Woman takes her place, and I still do well with that team. So if you don't have Yo-Yo and you're trying to build for this team, you can probably sub in Invisible Woman and be fine. So that's going to do it for Arena. If you're not going to run Black Order on defense because you just don't have the gold stars or red stars for it, then you can probably run this Arena team and sub in for Mr. Sinister Crystal or Colossus, or Captain Marvel or someone like that. Basically, Arena defense is hard to tell because you can't control it. But I think Crystal's probably your best bet in case you do come up against a team like this, because she has a kind of counter to Phoenix. It's not really that great, but she also affects turn meter, which is great. So yeah, that's it for Arena. Let's go over your best U7 team. This is called Ebony, or it's called Ma in Order. It's also been called BKT 2.0. Basically, what Ebony Ma does is gives a ton of buffs and stuff to Thanos, which allows him to kind of reign control again back in raids as he did in U6. He's also going to give ability to energy to the rest of the team because they're all cosmic characters. Minerva's there as your healer, Black Bolt's there as your big blaster damage. He also has a ton of health. And Hela, most people know Hela's kit, but she brings in her undead Asgardian and she spreads buffs like crazy. If you don't have Ebony Maw, you can probably try and use this team. This is the team that I actually use. I like this team because I can auto U7 for the most part. On difficulty 2, I really don't have too much trouble with it. We 60% difficulty 2, so this is a team I just throw in there to auto, and then if this team goes down, I'll use this team or throw in Phoenix somewhere. But most people know that Symbiote Spider-Man was made for raids and made for Dark Dimensions 2. Throw in Carnage in there and he'll manipulate turn meter for himself and for Symbiote Spider-Man. Yo-Yo's there to apply offense down and call assists for Black Bolt and apply energy to Black Bolt. Black Bolt's there for damage, and then Shuri's there because she was also made for raids and will apply deflect up and heal and energy to the team. So your best DD3 team. These 4 on the right here, these are going to be your first 4 that you want to bring up, and then Carnage. I would tell people to bring in Carnage. I know some people bring in Colossus. I know some people bring in Thanos. Basically, you want someone to complement either one of these 4 characters. These 3 all have health steal, which is huge in Dark Dimensions 3, and then again, Symbiote Spider-Man was made for Dark Dimensions. So I like Carnage just because, again, he manipulates turn meter and gives turn meter to Symbiote Spider-Man and himself. But if you want to run in Colossus because he goes well with Phoenix, if you want to run Thanos because he goes well with Ebony Maw, I don't really know who goes well with Minerva, but Minerva's just there. I guess you could throw in Star-Lord to apply ability energy, but I don't think that's worth it. So that's your best DD3 team. Your best war defense team. So I know some people could argue for Hydra. The reason why I'm saying Asgardian is because Hydra has a super easy counter that no matter what the power level is, a Inhuman team can come in and take him out. And that's how it's always been, and it sucks they didn't get to reign supreme. But I would say Asgardians are your just best war defense, other than Black Order, of course. Yeah, I should make a note of that. You can use Black Order on war offense or war defense. They're both really solid. On war defense, someone has to throw in a really good team against them. On war offense, they can take out really good teams. But I just think in general, your best war defense is probably Asgardians. There is counters to them, but it's, if you're going to go up against a huge Asgardian team like 350k power, you're gonna have to make sure you have around that same power with whatever team you're trying to counter them with, whether that's X-Men or Asgardians. I will say, with the introduction of X-Force, we will see how much longer Asgardians reign supreme, but I think they will still be very solid. I did not do a best war offense team because it depends in war who you're up against. For example, you could say that X-Force might be the new best war offense team because they are taking out the best war defense team. But we will see. Also, you could, your best war offense would be Black Order as well. But that's why I didn't include best war offense. It's basically who you're trying to go against. So, if you're facing a Shield Coulson team, you're going to want to use Magneto and his new Brotherhood characters and stuff. So, it really just depends who you go up against, but I would argue that this is your best war defense team. Okay, your best DD2 team. There are better teams for Dark Dimensions 2, but I think this is probably your best bet to go in if you are going in for the first time. This team can probably beat it in one day. I have a video up about unlocking Ultron in one day in a team that I used. Instead of Invisible Woman, I used this team. And I had Yo-Yo in for Invisible Woman, and then I had Nick Fury in for Symbiote Spider-Man. The reason why I had Nick Fury in for Symbiote Spider-Man was because I needed someone that could stun Deadpool. But now that I have Symbiote Spider-Man leveled up, I would say use him to stun Deadpool. He's a lot better than Nick Fury. And then I think Invisible Woman is probably more of a better free-to-play character than Yo-Yo is, just because you can actually attain her instead of just opening orbs. I know Captain Marvel you can attain through opening orbs, but they have done plenty of stuff to allow characters to get Captain Marvel. And then there's no one really replacing Minerva when it comes to Dark Dimensions 2, so I hope most people have her. I know they're doing a login calendar for the beginning of July, so hopefully you can get her. And then Scientist Supreme and Minerva work really well together. I will say on the last note, if you have a Phoenix available, use Phoenix because she will help you clear that note as well. I am interested in also wondering if you could replace Scientist Supreme with Mr. Sinister, because you could clone Ultron at the end, and Mr. Sinister is a healer as well, and he can clone characters. So I do need to do some testing on that, but I would say this is a safe bet for you to get through Dark Dimensions 2 pretty easily. And then here's another Dark Dimensions 2 team that, so when I put out my Unlock Ultron on one day, people were telling me that AIM can beat it. I believe it. I haven't tested it yet. I don't have AIM at Gear 13 to try it, but I know a lot of people probably don't want to necessarily invest in AIM just for Dark Dimensions 2, but I do want to just say to you guys that they can beat it as well. I think some people have said 1 day. I've seen 1 to 2 days, so I don't really know for sure, but I did just want to throw this team out there as well. And that's going to do it for this video. Let me know if I missed out on anyone. Let me know if you disagree with me. Let me know if I should add teams to this, team types, whether it's, if you want to see a best U6 team, if you want to see a best Dark Dimensions 1 team, basically. Yeah, let me know. Basically, best free to play, whatever team. I want to know. I want to expand on this and let people know and guide people on where to go and stuff. On this channel, I do legendary guides, I do news, I do orb openings, I do all sorts of stuff with Marvel Strike Force, so you make sure you want to subscribe so you can check that out. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.